Hello friends, Marcy here, and I did not want to do an unboxing of this package, but as I started taking the things out, I thought, wow, y'all need to see this. So I just want to share a few seconds of the way Endless Pens packed my shipment. So they have the paper and all these little styrofoam, what do we call, popcorns or peanuts in there. I'll speed through this as I remove these, because I want you to know that if you order from them, they take a lot of care in ensuring that your package arrives safely. Okay, so there's a few more down on the bottom. Then we have the bubble wrap. And then we have the bubble wrap. And then we have another padded envelope in the bottom. That is a lot of security to ensure that my package arrives safely. And I appreciate that, and I want everyone to know how amazing that Endless Pens is. So Endless Pens had a sale, and when the full bottle is almost the price of 2 sample bottles, you just, you have to do the math. So here I am. I'm gonna get my stamps and swatch book ready, and we'll add these new inks. Okay, so we're gonna get started on the page. I'm going to stamp one of my new ink bottle stamps, and this I'm using for full bottle. And then I have these stamps. These are from Jet Pens. This is a glass nib, so I'm going to put it up here to note where I'm doing the dip sample, and then a fountain pen, because I am keeping a fountain pen journal. So anytime a certain ink of this page is in a pen, I'm recording it. Like, oh, so I put my stamp there, like here. So if I do ink a pen with a certain ink, I'm recording that different pen, so I can have a reference of performance in different nibs and different pens. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages I'm going to set up now from this order, and this one is from a separate order that came in yesterday, and so I'm going to add it to the book. So let me quickly set up 7 pages. Okay, 7 pages are set up. We're going to start with Private Reserve Sherwood Green. And I've been looking for a good green ink. There were several green hue choices at the website, and I wasn't sure which one, but I think I'm liking this one a lot. Hard to tell through that glass, but let's get in here. Oh, plastic. Oops, I have a drop, but that's okay, because, drops are great. I'm going to start by, I have a bubble. I have a lot of liquid here in the lid, so I'm going to soak some of that up in my brush, because I know when I turn that upside down, I'm just going to have a drip factor going on. And we'll just put it in the ink bottle. That's pretty, pretty, pretty. It's very much, it looks very much wet, like the kind of ink I was looking for. Spread it out. And so this dip pen, again, it's the Moon Man. I bought it at Jet Pens years ago, and I've tried looking it up to list it, and the only one I can find now is called a Mahjong. And in other pens that I have, the previously Moon Man is now Mahjong, so I'm having to cheat and look on the bottle at the name so I don't mess up. Sherwood Green. And I'm loving this green. Okay, so it is March, and I'm going to be needing a beautiful green ink in my planner and my journal, so this is going to be perfect. Give that a minute to dry. And I don't have it inked in a fountain pen yet, so I'm not going to be recording this. Next up will be the Sailor Manyo Kiku. Again, I went through a couple sample bottles of this and I absolutely love it, so I had to replace it. I used it in my Sailor Compass 1911 in my planner, which it has a very fine point and it's just a gorgeous color. I do want some pulling at the bottom, so I'll get a little more here. And I did forget to do my strip earlier. I'll have to remember to add those. This is the kind of wet ink that I love to see dry on paper for the shading properties. I'm cheating again, looking at the bottle for spelling. Don't want to mess up. So actually I can go and get my pen that I currently have inked and add it here. So I'll do that real quick. So this is the Sailor Compass 1911, and this is the only ink I've ever used in this pen, and that's because if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? It's just so satisfactory to use in my Hobonichi. So this is this is an affordable line of pen, by the way, and this says it's a medium fine nib. I've been using this, I guess, for almost a year, and I'm just so satisfied with the performance in the Hobonichi. So that's why I had to order more, because my sample's empty and it's like, oh no, I love that ink. All right, I'm waiting for that to dry, and then we'll move on to a new color. And while we're while we're moving on, I'll be dipping my chromatography strip, and I shall return in a few minutes. Okay, that was a pretty quick dry, and what I love about it is the red sheening. I don't know if you can see that there. I see a lot more of the red sheening on the word Sailor than anything I put in the bottle. I just didn't put it thick enough. And then backing up to the Private Reserve Sherwood, there is a lot of red sheening here in the ink bottle. Hope I can get some light on there to show you. And we'll move to the Sailor Shiki-Ori, which was not part of the Endless Pens purchase, but I'm just gonna throw it in here along with the Sailor. Love these cute little glass bottles. They are 20 ml. And the name is Saku Mori. It is a pink shade. It almost looks kind of red, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be a little transparent. Oh yes, yeah, in the bottle it looks red, but that is a gorgeous ink, and I did purposely order it for a pink pen that I'll be sharing with you soon. I think that's beautiful. Oh, cap off. And again, I'm going to cheat on the spelling. This glass nib pen, the Moon Man, does a fine job of laying down ink samples. And it is not inked, but I plan to ink in a pen that I'll be receiving soon, so we'll leave this section for later. Next up is the limited edition Israel 75, 1948 to 2023 edition. And here's something that I thought was quite unique. The limited edition, it has number 0572 of 1948 bottles created. So much like some of my collector's edition pens, now I have a collector's edition ink. And it says the ink features advanced extended cap-off ink formula with a vibrant color, smooth ink flow, high saturation, and an excellent hue. It has a lubricating feature that protects the nib feed. And here's some more information for you. It is the Israel 75 Diamond Jubilee Collection Limited Edition 1948 ink in blue diamond. And then we have the top of the box has the Star of David, and then the top of the bottle cap, oops, let me turn that, has a blue diamond. So you almost hate to open the bottle, right? Because it's a collector's edition. But I've already removed the seal, the plastic seal around. So, oh, let me get my brush ready to go. Oh my, that's beautiful. This reminds me of the blue marble, the body of my blue marble Pelican. There's also a pen. There is a pen that has been created with the same name. But, yeah. So y'all can go look at that pen at Endless Pens. It's the Diamond Jubilee. Put a little bit out of my price range, but look at this gorgeous Pelican blue marble. Don't you think that would be a gorgeous match for this ink? I do. All right, let's do some writing. Anxious to experience the cap-off performance that is touted. Wow, I just don't know where to start with the name. I think I'll start it with Israel. 75 Diamond Jubilee. I'm so pleased that I ordered this limited edition. And I didn't write anything in there about blue yet. Oops. So it is called Blue Diamond. All right, and since I don't have it inked with a pen, we'll leave this section for later, but oh my, that is such a fabulous find. And this word, Israel, in the box is cut out. The letters are cut out. There's so much, all this, the whole design and all the letters are cut out. This is such an amazing, produced by Conklin. This is such an amazing collector's edition to have. So after it dries, I really don't see any shading or sheening properties. It's just a true blue. Just a true solid blue that looks gorgeous on this Tomoe River paper. And next up, let's go for this one. This is a Sailor ink also. It's Sailor ink of the 50 states. I wanted Texas because I live in Texas, so I wanted my Texas ink. Let's put some of that down on paper and get into here. I know there are some people who are collecting like all 50 states of these bottles, but oh my, what a collection that would be. So this is a brown amber sepia. We'll see more of the detailed color in just a moment. But brown is a good color for Texas because, you know, if we're not flooding, we're in drought. And there we go. From 80-degree weather to a week of ice storms to back to 80-degree weather. We've just been on some kind of roller coaster through January, February, and now March. We're getting into that spring fling with the storms. On Thursday we had Many people really suffered. They had a lot of storm damage. There were tornadoes, straight line winds. We had a rough day on Thursday. Power outages. Schools were canceled, not from building damage, but just from no power. So not in our local community, but several in the DFW area. Anyway, let's write about Sailor 50 States. And this is Texas. There we go. And it's not inked in a pen, so we're going to come back to this portion of the page later when it is in use. Oh, I need a chromatography strip. I keep forgetting to mark those. I just went back and did the Israel one. So put down a little ink here and dip it and wait for it to dry. Okay, coming close to the end. I ordered the Monteverde California teal because I not heard so much about it, but yes, I see people using it in their videos often and everyone loves it. So I gotta love me some. And then we'll go to the rose pink. All right. Oh, that is pretty. That is very much like my Sherwood green. After it dries, I will go back and compare. This is gorgeous. And I may have it laid on just a little too heavy, but that's okay, because that'll enable me to see all the capabilities of that ink. So we have a thin layer here, just spread out. And oh my, that's so pretty. Monteverde. It does say USA. California teal. Gorgeous ink. And it is not inked in a pen, but I already know what I want to ink it. I already know what pen I want to use. I haven't even shared it with you. It's still in the box, ready to be shared. So I have a secret. Yep, I have a secret. But you'll see it again in an upcoming video as I ink my new pen, my new secret arrival. And we'll get it listed in the book. So here we go. Now on this page, a chromatography strip, it really looks green. There's not a lot of teal showing through there, but we're going to add some water and see what comes through. And I'll be back after my puddle dries. Okay, we've had some drying time, and this has a gorgeous red sheen to it. I can see it captured in the letters, or the loops of my letters, and also here in the bottle, if I can get the light captured there just right for you. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And this was also included. This was the little box that the bottle was enclosed in, just a clear plastic container. This was enclosed, so it gives you kind of an ink swatch there with a list and coloring of some other ink options. So I'm going to try to glue this in, tip this in, and save that for reference for when I'm shopping. And then the next one coming up will be the rose pink, and it has some information on, same thing, just the ink swatch there. So amazing. That's new. Oh, these are different. Okay, this one's just folded. This one's perforated. As you can see, the perforation's already fallen apart. So they are kind of different. Different in quality. All right, let's turn the page and get some paint down here. This is rose pink ink. Cute, cute, cute. Rose pink ink. All right. Very pretty. I think it can, oh my goodness. That has like a blushy matte violet. It looks like a rose petal. I am so surprised. Wow. That's amazing. Okay, that's quite unique. I do not own an ink like that. It's like the consistency is different. The color is different. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's amazing. So if you can tell by my reaction here that this is an amazing ink, and we're gonna write, oh my. Okay, so the other ink I shared with you earlier that I purchased with intentions to put in a pen, I might be changing my mind. I don't know. Lucky for me, I have more than one pen to choose from. This is rose pink. Wow, it is gorgeous and very deserving of its name. Oh my, that is so amazing. Okay, let's see what's going on with the chromatography strip. After these dry, I'm going to come back and put them on the correct pages. Again, on the chromatography strip, when that goes down, it has a lilac tint, and already I haven't added water, but there's a blue ring on the outside there coming through. I can bring you in for the water and let you be amazed with me, because you know I will be. So all the blue is saturating up into the, that's interesting. Yeah, the blue ink is saturating up with the water, and it's leaving the pink where I placed it. I don't know if you can see that. May have to wait till it dries. But wow. Oops. I have a jar ring on my paper. Okay, we'll come back and look at this. And I also just realized that I need to prepare another page, because I have this Private Reserve Blue Suede, which was a free ink that came with the Conklin rainbow that I did not add to my swatch book. So I'm going to go ahead and do that since I'm all set up. Okay, last addition to the swatch book. And this was, again, not included in the Endless Pens order, but it was actually from Goulet Pens. It was a free ink with the order of the Conklin rainbow, which was also a special edition. And Private Reserve in Blue Suede. Oops, so if you can tell, I'm a little behind on my swatching, my pen sharing, my ink sharing, and this is Marcy catching up. So you'll have another video coming for me soon. Until then, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen here with me today, because I sure enjoy doing it. I really enjoy the whole process of swatching and inking and sharing. It's fun. I enjoy it. It's my hobby. I gotta put some ink down on the chromatography, and once these dry, we'll go back together and adhere them to the appropriate page and let you see what the dried finishes of these new inks are. I've never done a full swatch video with full bottles. They've always been ink samples, so this one's been a little time consuming for me today. Anyway, I will be back soon to share some chromatography strip additions to the page. I almost forgot. This ink is currently inked in our Conklin Durograph, and this is a special edition rainbow from Jubilee pens. And it's the flex nib. Okay, so Conklin. Durograph. Flex nib. And look at it showing off its flex right there with all that ink shading. Beautifulness going on. This is a special edition rainbow pen. Okay, well, I have the last one drying. Let's go back to the first one we swatched today. And this one doesn't have a swatch either. I need to go back and catch up on swatching here. This is one that I ordered just because it was a previous ink vent bottle that I didn't have. So this is where we started today. Private Reserve Sherwood Green. And here is our swatch chromatography page, if you can see that. I don't want to get these out of order. And the glue I'm using is a Zig two-way glue. It's acid free. It's blue when wet but turns clear when dry. So that's what I'm using just to adhere these to the page. Private Reserve green, and we did capture some red sheening on that earlier, and when it's inked in a pen I'll record it. Sailor Manyo Kiku. I'm not surprised by the chromatography strip on here. It's much like the Sailor Manyo haha that I also love. So I've been using this one again for some time in a sample bottle. 2 sample bottles actually. One sample bottle came with a pen, and then I ordered another one. So Sailor Shiki-Ori. This one, let me see if I'm out of order. Okay, so I just had to double check that I had my pinks in order as I was letting these dry. And this is very much expected. We have like pink into peach with some yellow mixture there, all the way up to a violet that is showing through. This looks like a peach pink, or a salmon, actually a salmon pink. That's what I'm seeing here on the script. I hope I'm in frame for you there. So once we ink that, we'll be back to record it. And the Israel 75 Diamond Jubilee, very saturated, as was in the description, a very saturated blue ink. Anxious to ink this and use it. And I also want to try test out the wetness, where you can leave it uncapped and it would stay wet longer because it has the lubricant in it. All right, and our Sailor 50 States Texas. Look at this. What's going on? That is like, that speaks volumes about Texas to me. Right. All those colors. When I laid it down, it was the brown, which this looks like a gorgeous leather brown. Oh my goodness. And then all these colors just came out, leaving a gray tint behind, moving into some reds, greens, blues, all the way up to some vibrant yellows and orange. Looks like a sunset, doesn't it? Perfect for Texas. I love it. Nice job, Sailor. All right, Monteverde, USA, California teal. Again, when I started here with my strip, all of the pigment, all of the ink moved up, which the blue was, I guess, the most forceful and ended up on top, leaving a trail of the green and yellow behind. But look at the vibrancy of that blue and how it just sealed the edge with a dark, dark, dark blue. Amazing. And it's funny, I have the red sheen here in the bottle. I'm not really picking up on reds here on the chromatography strip. Monteverde, USA. Okay, I have to pick this up because the lettering on this page is like a piece of art. It's, do you see the little, do I have something here that's like a fine point that I could point? Maybe a touch. Do you see the little feathers here at the tops of like the D and the E where it pulled? There's little like spider leg feathers that stick out. It's like a artwork. I don't know. It's so unique. Not only was I enthralled with the color when I put it down on the page, but the dried ink is just that much more amazing. So cool. I love it. I love it. And it was on sale. You know, how can you go wrong? So we have the rose pink. Right away, as I shared with you on video, the blue just jumped right out and out of the pink on the chromatography strip. That was so cool. It separated immediately. If I haven't mentioned before, this hobby's fun. All right, Private Reserve Blue Suede. This one is, okay, I left it up. It was still drying. Again, the blue was, it just rapidly went up with the water and it left the trail of the faint green, yellow, or teal color behind. But the saturated blue is right up along to seal off that ink from traveling up in the water. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Before I sign off, I do have to say that I do have another ink swatch book in the works because this is what I'm left with. The plan for this ink swatch book was my index in the front, and I do have to catch up on my index pages, and then full bottles with ink inventory, like whatever ink was or whatever pen was used with this ink was recorded in this book. So this will still be a living document. I'm still going to record pens as I ink them, but I don't have room to add more inks. So I'm going to get to a bigger swatch book. I started with the front index and then full bottle inks. The back, I just recorded ink samples. So I'm moving back to front with the samples, and I'm at the point where I've met samples to full bottles. So I need a larger swatch book. I have ideas in play for setting that up. Again, it will probably change with my mind. You know, that happens. But I do appreciate you, and thank you for spending some of your precious moments with me today. You have a blessed day. Bye-bye.